Hi, guys. Welcome to Live Shot of Steelers presented by FanDuel. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. He's Chris Halleck. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. And the Steelers took care of their divisional rival Browns, I thought, in a lot of different ways, but most importantly, of course, on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. 23-9 final score. Getting 20 points against that top defense is very, very good. Also held an opposing team to single-digit points for the first time since Week 2 last season when they played the Broncos in Denver. I'm saying it on Double Shot all week. I thought this was, if you have a 2-touchdown win over this team, I don't care that they were 1-4. That's a really, really good defense. And the defense also showed up, and they did what they were supposed to do against an offense that has yet to score 20 points this season in a game. So, no, they took care of business on both sides of the ball and with special teams as well.
They did, and I'm going to give a special shout to the offense because to what Chris just said, when he says the Browns are one of the NFL's best defenses, there are metrics that would suggest that they're actually the NFL's very best defense. However, what needed to happen down there on that field, more than anything else, was the Browns needed to feel the weight, not just of their opponent, but also of 6 weeks of way too many snaps.
Yeah.
And just coming back from London and all that other stuff that plays into it. And what you saw, I thought, you guys are going to think we're like Arthur Smith fan club or something here, but Arthur comes out at the beginning of the game.
First
play. This guy's sitting next to me in the press box, and he goes, look at all the numbers Cleveland has in the box. What ends up happening? There goes Darnell, who was part of the guy who was supposed to thwart the box. He was supposed to be, that's good offensive coordinating.
Yes.
But best of all was the second half in its entirety, because what they did was they took the battle to Cleveland. They said, do you really want this?
Yeah. No, absolutely, because what they did, and it started to happen in the second quarter, and then they really, really turned it on in the second half, was they started to run the ball pretty effectively. And remember, you're going to look at the final box score and be like, oh, it's only 100 yards rushing. That was the number one ranked rush defense coming into the game, giving up only 75 yards a game. They put up 100 yards, and it was Jaylen Warren most of the time, but Kenny Gainwell had a couple of good runs. Caleb Johnson had a good run. They were able, and that helped open things up for whenever they did want to finally stretch the field. And yes, the Browns did give them the single high looks that Aaron Rodgers has been talking about. So the run game helped open that up. They get the single high looks, then he stretches the field. You see a couple deep shots to DK that panned out. This is what the offense wants to do. They want to be able to control everything with the run and let that open things up elsewhere on offense.
Guys, one thing you have to understand here, and I'm sharing what these guys just relayed to me downstairs. I'm not speaking from, Mount Olympus here at you or something. What they want people to understand is this is how they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
If you're waiting for the sit back, relax, you're up 45 points, look at us taking care of the 1-4. No, that's how they're going to have to win. Caleb Johnson just said to me as I was leaving the room, he said, as it related to the running backs, he said, it took all 3 of us.
Yeah.
And that's actually a great way of looking at it because, Jaylen had his game. We go over to Ireland. Kenny Gainwell had hhis game.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb has poked in there, and he did it again today. Big first down run, I thought, the 9-yarder.
Yeah.
These guys are starting to feed off of each other, and that applies to offense and defense. But you're never going to hear a better example of your offensive guy talking about your defensive guy than what Chris is about to introduce here.
Yeah, so all the credit, and listen, just really quick on the offense, all of them, once again, gave them a lot of credit to the offensive line. I mean, also, Aaron Rodgers sacked 0 times today.
0 times.
0 sacks today. So all the talk about Myles Garrett going to be taking Broderick Jones. Yeah, exactly. The PFF Player of the Week.
Myles Garrett, because he had that one tackle today.
Yeah. But no, Aaron Rodgers, absolutely. He likes to give credit where credit's due, and he could not have given more credit to any player, and it wasn't a guy on the offensive side. It was a guy on the defensive side.
And that's rare. You don't see a lot of cross-pollination in quotes when it comes to offense, defense. And here's what Rodgers had to say about Ramsey.
I do want to make a point and talk about Ramsey because what he did this week, getting ready to play. I've been around the game a long time, and I've seen a lot of guys in a situation where you got Sunday, Thursday, skip both games, where maybe they're 80%, 85%, but they want to be 100% because I think there's a fear of failure almost that can paralyze them. Where if I don't play my best game, then what does that say about me if I'm not 100%? I think some guys are scared to go out there and play. But for Jaylen to go out there, everything he's accomplished in this league, I just can't say enough about the level of respect I have for him. And he had, 2 sacks, pass breakups, and tackles. If there was any question about the type of person that he is, take away the grip, incredible player, but person and teammate, I think he just showed all of us the kind of guy that he is by going out there and playing.
Hey guys, football's finally back out of the bye week for all of us. It's time to check out the latest odds, futures, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. If you think the Steelers are hanging around in first place, since everybody else is falling off, and in the Ravens' case, completely falling apart, lock in your bets today, including on Baltimore's. We're not against that sort of thing. Whatever your game, FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials so that you can join in on all of the action. Let's have a moment of silence for the Ravens. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that either. Rodgers, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Oh, my gosh. Listen.
I mean, related to the
oh, yeah. I mean, he knows what he's doing in a lot of ways. But for him to go out of his way to credit, because Jaylen Ramsey, you have a hamstring injury. The way that I love that he put it was a lot of guys when they're like 80% or something like that. When you have these 2 games in 5 days, you know what it is.
They find a way out.
No. Yeah, they'll just we'll just skip the 2 games. We'll get back to 100%. And he's like, I loved how he didn't just credit the player. He's like, almost don't talk about the player. Talk about the person that he is. And the fact that he said something like that to credit Ramsey, that just really, really blew my mind as I'm sitting there in that press conference. And I think it also shows that these guys continue to buy into each other. It's not just offense, not just defense. This really is a complementary football team. And that is something that's way more it provides a lot more optimism for this team than anything you can find in terms of stats
or film or anything. Because one of the main topics of conversation that I had downstairs, especially with the defensive guys, was, and I shared this with you as well when we were reporting from Dublin, that they sense a swarming effect to what it is that they're doing. They sense that if they're going to the football or they're going to the ball carrier, whoever that is, that they're about to be supported. Now, that can come with peril, because Joey Porter got clocked by Deshaun Elliott clocking somebody else. So I go to Deshaun, who can take a joke. And I go to Deshaun and I go, dude, friendly fire, what are you doing out there? He goes, hey, you don't understand. It was the domino effect. I hit their guy so hard that he had no choice but to back into Joey that hard. And I go, oh, all right. So like about 5 minutes later, I run into Joey, and I share the domino effect theory with him.
Yeah.
And Joey goes, that's what he's saying? That's what he's saying? And then all kinds of stuff that would have sounded like it came from his dad's mouth instead came from his own. But they are getting to the football, and they're getting there hard, Chris, and it's not one player, it's multiple players.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I again, offensive guys, DK Metcalf, after the game, talked about how that kind of, like, the play that they're seeing on the defensive side, how it energizes the offense. And he started rattling off, he's like TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, PQ, all these guys that are just flying around. PQ hit Jerome Ford so hard earlier in the game.
I am not going to share with you what PQ Patrick Queen told me about that hit. You won't get that out of me in a million years. Let's just say, in a pleasant tone, The man had bad intentions. We can say bad intentions?
I think we can.
Okay, good.
It's just
They played hard,
Yeah,
they hit
did.
hard,
They did.
but they followed each other. And the swarming effect is something that I asked Peyton Wilson. He was very much part of this too. Don't mean to leave him out. He had a massive special teams hit. And these guys are taking that stuff seriously as well. Here's what Peyton had to say. Peyton Wilson, you and I have spoken all season, especially after the game in Ireland, about this defense kind of growing up a little bit, coming of age, becoming smarter.
Yeah.
Is that starting to happen now?
Yeah, I think you just see the fluidity of our defense now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In a sense of like when we're in man, there's people adding, everything's flowing right. I don't know, it's just flowing really good. I mean, the way the calls are coming in, the sequences that we're playing, it's almost very complimentary in a sense. Like obviously you always see the D-line eating or the linebackers getting sacks, but what these guys are doing on the back end with Coach GA and whatnot, and Coach Midge, it's been amazing. I mean, the looks that they're giving these guys, the fluidity of our defense has been awesome.
That's what we were talking about in Ireland. It wasn't just one guy going up to make the play. You'd see a second one come in, and it was almost natural.
Hi, Coach.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, say that again. Sorry.
There was almost like in Ireland, we saw it start, and we saw it continue today, where it wouldn't just be one guy making a play.
Yeah.
There'd be a second one in there. Is that what you're talking about when you say fluidity?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, we obviously knew the talent we had, but now you see that all 11 guys on the field can end the game, can make the biggest play on the field. It doesn't matter anymore, you know. It's just 11 guys out there that are really assignment sound, really happy for each other when it happens. So it's been cool to be a part of.
When Chris says earlier that it's all three phases, that's not just a line. It's not just offense, defense, special teams because we're used to repeating that line. It's because it was actually true. I mentioned Wilson's big hit on special teams. He was far from alone in that regard. Before taking that further, I want to point out or remind that they might have lost Miles Killebrew for a while. He's their special teams captain, and I have no doubt that motivated some of those guys to go out there and make some of those big plays. Was there any, I was not in the Tomlin thing, was there any update at all on Killebrew's status?
significant. It was the way that
he say that?
Yeah, he said significant.
Okay,
so he might be out for the year. That's conjecture at this point, but it's conjecture with a heavy.
He doesn't use that light.
No, he does not. So, but just really quick to touch on this because Killebrew. Now, I haven't got a chance to go back and watch the play yet. I don't know if it was non-contact or not, but that field was in horrific shape.
Also a subject.
And Aaron Rodgers, he called it borderline unplayable by the time about the third quarter came around. Said pregame it wasn't bad, even though from the press box it looked bad. But they said it like it was not good. I talked with Corliss Waitman about it because Boswell slipped on a 54-yard attempt, and they were not happy at all with the surface.
I'm going to say this because I know a lot of people are going to pile on as far as the Roonies and so forth and everything else. Here's what I have to say about the field.
Pitt didn't play last night.
Pitt was in Tallahassee, Florida, playing whatever the
beating
college.
Florida State.
Is that the college there?
Yeah.
Okay. So they were playing somewhere else, so there's nobody here. But there's also something else that's not here anymore in the city of Pittsburgh. And I'm complaining about it all the time. I think I'm the only one. It doesn't rain here anymore. And you're never going to have good, healthy, lush, thick grass of any kind without rain. You need it. And we just don't have it. Now, could they be out here squirting the thing more often? Sure. Is it a great look right now? No. Here, Chris, you can hold the microphone. Yeah. I'm going to turn the camera and show everybody what we're looking at here with the field. You see that? And that's not pretty. There's all kinds of gray and wear that you can tell down the middle of the field, and that's what ended up happening over the course of this game, that it just kept getting worse and worse. And it didn't help that you had two teams trying to basically kill each other and using the middle of the field a lot. But listen, as far as I'm concerned, that's another subject for another day. They won this game.
They did.
And they won this the way they wanted to win this game. Mm-hmm. And then to punctuate it with that touchdown to Connor Heyward.
Yeah.
And that throw. And I'm about to show you my brief talk with Connor after the game, but I'm going to tell you Well, no, you got to watch it first. Go ahead and watch this. Connor Heyward, take me through that play, the touchdown, and are you primary target on that?
I'm not the primary. Darnell was, but like, if they take the flat, then I know that I have a chance. And so basically, I just saw 8 rolling out, and he kind of had a lot of time, and we locked eyes, and I knew I couldn't work over the top. So then
you locked with air.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then I kind of knew, all right, I got all this room to work over here because I had the guy like pinned on my side, and he threw one of them balls where he like pointed at his arm. You know what I mean? And it's a hose. Just glad I caught it.
It's a ridiculous hose. I don't want to say it's just for his age. It's a ridiculous hose for anybody at any age.
Yeah, he knows it too. He does it. If you drop it, in practice, he'll give you one of these. You know what I mean?
No, what was that?
Like this. He'll get one of them. So after he threw that, I got up and I started doing that to him. He just started laughing and glad it, we connected.
In general, Connor, for this offense, you guys knew what you had to do against that defense, and you went out there and did it, didn't you? You know what I mean? Like you knew the challenge. I don't care what their record is, that you were going to face against that group.
Yeah.
How good did that feel?
No, it feels good. We know whenever we play any of our divisional opponent, it's going to be a game that they know what's better than anybody, and vice versa. So to end up with this dub going into Thursday is big time.
If you're only going to get one touchdown, make it a touchdown that was that good. And it really was, Chris, even beyond the throw and catch.
Oh, yeah. Rodgers, even after the game, credited Jaylen Warren with the block that he had. And it was
a block.
We talked about that. I mean, you pointed that out when we were watching the game in the press box. And we're sitting there, he's like, look at the block that Jaylen threw. And then Rodgers on his own accord
flipped over like it was a cartoon.
Yeah. But then Rodgers again, and I asked, I talked with Connor after the game too, and talked about how much emphasis, because there's so much emphasis in practice that goes into game planning and getting all the plays that you're going to have specifically for that game, for the game plan to be ready. How much time is there to also work on stuff like that, scramble drill stuff, and when Rodgers is out of the pocket, so that when you you find a way to lock eyes, you can move around, and so that's exactly what Connor did, and Rodgers made the play, man.
And I want to say it was all Rodgers and it was all that incredible throw against his body and everything else here. But when you guys hear, as you just did on the clip there, Connor describing for me how he had the faith to keep running in the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. And we're on a side here in the press box, and you think, where's he going?
Yeah.
Rodgers is going this way. Why are you going that way? Because it's something that they practice. It's something that they work on. It's something that they talk about. You saw Connor joking about how they tease each other about not getting that play right. And when they don't get it right, everybody has to go and do it again. That's happening now on both sides of the ball, by the way. It's a great thing to watch. Connor had something to say about Rodgers' arm and where it is at this stage of his career. Can't repeat that either, but it was really, really complimentary.
Yeah, and listen, I think if you want, if the throw downfield that Rodgers made that Freiermuth didn't haul in week 2 didn't convince you that Rodgers can still sling it, well, maybe that one will. Throwing against your body like that and getting that on target and putting it where only your guy can get it, I don't know if that qualifies as the PFF big-time throw, but it's a big-time throw.
Oh, boy. There's our second PFF dig in the same episode. Yeah. All the strays coming from here high atop Acrisure Stadium. There's a lot to like about this game. There's a lot to like, I think, even more about the trajectory of this team. Mike Tomlin refers to, the upward arrows and so forth. But that's really what this is, and what they have to do now on a short week. And I couldn't care less how bad Cincinnati is or who's missing this, that, Joe Burrow, whatever else here.
North. So I don't know the exact record, and I'll look it up this week. But Mike Tomlin is now 15-4 coming off of a bye, so not that big of a surprise that they win this game. I don't know what the record is, but I'm pretty sure he's sub 500 on a short week, on less than a normal week. So Thursday night, we're talking about opposite trend here. So if the Steelers are going to go in and win a game in Cincinnati, regardless of whether it's Joe Flacco or Jake Browning or whoever's at quarterback and that terrible defense, they're going to have to find a way to put together a game plan real quick and go out there and play a good football game.
We have all kinds of additional updates that you can find on the app, including original injury information, stuff that we find out ourselves from talking to these guys and talking to others in the locker room. You can find that on the DK Pittsburgh Sports app. But that's not the only thing we're doing. There's a lot. Injury reports like this long compared to the rest. But you'll find that on there. You'll find my column. You'll find Chris has his weekly, he chooses a big play and a big player. I think you're going to enjoy this round of both of those features. I'm writing a column. You'll see. It's going to be a little bit unusual. But make sure you download the app. That's what it is that we do. If you want to support what it is that we do, including these videos and so forth, that's the way to do it. Download DK Pittsburgh Sports into your Apple or Android, and then, because you're going to see ads, you're going to see stuff that you don't like, email me directly. I won't get to it like that this split second. We have a lot going on here tonight. But I will try to get to it by tomorrow for sure, okay? Email me, dk@dkpittsburghsports.com, and we will get you into the premium level that doesn't have any of that stuff. You can comment, you can ask us questions and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's great. And trust me, you don't want it with the ads. You don't want it with, you don't want it with the ads. Every now and then I have to log back into my account, and even that time where I have to log back in, it's like, oh God, get the ads out of here. So no, you want to have the premium version. It's awesome. Plus you get to interact with us. We do live Qs every week. You get to ask me questions. You get to ask, Taylor, who covers the Penguins for us, Jose, who covers the Pirates for us. You get to ask DK. Yeah, we're all there.
We have somebody on every beat, and we travel everywhere. We do everything. This is just the fun stuff. This is the fun stuff. But you know what else is fun? The Steelers being 4-1, heading into a short week against the Bengals. They can get themselves a nice long rest if they take care of business. I'm not presuming anything either. They would be 5-1 with a nice long rest of week going into Green Bay.
Yes.
Yeah, Packers will be here.
Right here on Sunday night, wearing the faux-backs, not the throwbacks, but like the newer rendition of throwbacks. So faux-backs.
I got it the first time. All right, everybody. Talk to you later. Hey!